following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to Gate City Chronicles. I'm Kevin Avard, your host, and today we have a couple of special guests. We have Jim
West, yeah.
Jim West, and Gary Sanchez from Maxim Lacrosse, or is it Maxim Lacrosse or Max LAX?
It's Maximum Lacrosse, but we sort of term ourselves Max LAX short. It's easier to remember. It's easier for the girls. It's easier for people to identify with.
Right, and you coach the girls' teams,
Yep.
right?
That's all we have.
And you've been coaching for a while, and you both used to coach on separate teams at one point?
Yeah, we both coached for different youth programs in the state, and that's kind of how we got together. We had some games together against each other, actually some pretty heated battles over the years, and that's how we kind of came to be.
Right. And now, lacrosse is a growing sport, isn't it?
Fastest growing sport in the nation.
Yep.
In the nation.
Yep.
Right, it's the new soccer, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It really is.
Now, you coach the girls' teams. What ages?
I've coached youth all the way through high school.
Yeah, both of us
Girls,
have
yeah.
pretty much everything from U9 through high school.
From U9. Wow, interesting. So, do you also umpire? Are you?
Yeah,
ref?
we're both rated officials as well. with
Rated
the
officials.
NHIA, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, we started officiating because we had coached for over a decade apiece each, and we wanted to see sort of a different perspective on the game, so we started reffing so that we could gain an experience from all aspects of the game. So we started reffing just to get a different perspective on how it is, and it's definitely a different perspective.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right into the thick of it. You see what the checks, the moves, everything. So how did you guys come together? How did this work? How did this work out?
Well, we had coached for a long time against each other, and then there's an indoor league that runs in the winter for the high school girls, and I had taken the Merrimack girls, and he had taken the Pinker, or at the time the Memorial, yeah.
Memorial, yeah.
And we had played a couple seasons, and then I think one of the seasons he didn't have quite enough girls to form a full team, and I was a little short too, so we just kind of came together and melded together, and from there it just kind of snowballed into, we started doing it every year. We're like, this really works.
Right.
And it just seemed to be the philosophies were pretty close to the same. And
Speaking of philosophies, let's talk a little bit about that. You tend to have a philosophy where, we were talking a little bit off camera about this elitism. Some people think that lacrosse is an elitist type of a sport. But my guests have to know that my stepdaughter's in Max LAX as well, and there does not appear to be any type of elitism. There's almost a family structure going on in there. You can almost sense with the parents, with the coaches, everybody seems to have an identity and a place.
That was definitely by design too.
yeah.
We saw the egos and the problems that presented in some of the other programs where you have that elitist, entitled attitude. And it really tended to tear teams apart rather than build them. And we saw that there's a program in Massachusetts that my daughter and his daughter went to, that they're very good at creating that environment where they get rid of the egos and they promote girls coming up and working together, and all the girls come and they meet a new girl. And we love that. And we wanted to build off of that and create an atmosphere where it was a team atmosphere, not only with the girls, but also, as you saw, with the parents.
Right. Well, you got the coach mom, just like regular, one of the baseball games and stuff. She gets everybody together, and of course you get the tents, and you bring, she coordinates the food. And it's it is a little kind of community that you guys have created, and it's comfortable to be there.
That
From
was our
day
goal.
one, from day one.
Yeah, that was our goal, is to make it so that the kids felt welcome. We've taken kids from some of these other programs and brought them in, and they were just shocked when they get there and they walk up. And it's tough for a kid that's 10, 11, 12 years old to walk in and see 40 kids they don't know.
Right.
And then to have a couple girls walk up to them and say, hi, are you here to try out? And the girls are kind of quiet. Well, hi, I'm Courtney, or I'm Riley. Come, why don't you come warm up with me? And that's really what the kids, I think what they remember the most is wow, I walked in, I was welcomed, rather than walking in and not knowing what to do and feeling uncomfortable. By giving them that kind of atmosphere. I really think that that's what kind of separates us from a lot of these other programs.
Right, and keep in mind, when I looked at your program, I actually went around and I took some B footage, and we'll probably show some B footage later on in the show. But we were showing, I was noticing that you were showing offense, and the girls were, man, you were giving them high fives, you were giving them the stick and everything like that. But they were working like a machine. You got them in a real quick pace, working like a machine we're just getting there. Everybody got out there on the field. They all kind of knew their places. And, okay, we're going to do this drill. And a couple, all right, well, we're going to warm up. And then all of a sudden, bam, they were hitting it. Yeah. They were hitting it. And then you look to the other end of the field, and you could see you with the tennis racket and working on the goalie. And, by the way, we got the best goalies.
It's hard to be objective, but I think that's
we really do. And we're very fortunate that we have a number of goalies.
Yeah.
And it's becomes very tough on game day to say, well, who are we putting in net first? I mean, it's pretty much we draw straws,
right?
Because they're all very, very competent in their own way, and our goalie development program is very strong. We have kids that have been waiting to get into it, and I've been able to add one more, but I can't, we can only go so many at a time because there's only so many teams to put them on.
Now, as a parent, I'm sitting on the sideline. I'm one of the loudmouthers. I had to actually confess it, right? Go, no shit, that kind of thing. I really I'm working on it. So
it's all right.
Anyway, there are other guys talking too, so I'm not gonna point them out. But one of the things that you could hear the other parents saying, or the other coaches yelling, in the Amherst, what do you call it? Tournament.
Yeah.
They're playing a zone. They're playing a zone. Now, how unusual is it for you to teach girls to play a zone at this early stage in their lacrosse years?
Well, one thing that's interesting is that when we first started playing the zone, there were people that thought it was illegal to play a zone. And we studied lacrosse for a number of years, and we've been studying the college game. And every single college, even Syracuse, which fought playing a zone for the longest time, is playing a zone now. So every major team in women's lacrosse at the collegiate level is playing a zones, and we had always,
I played a zone,
and I played a slide and recover defense that was similar too. So
pretty much day one when I started coaching.
Now, how hard is that to teach zone?
Easy.
Well, in the beginning, it was tough because you have to adapt the zone to the rules. The girls' game's a lot different than the boys' game, so you do have to adapt to the rules. Mm-hmm. But once I figured out how to make it work, I think it's easier to teach if the girls haven't been taught a man-to-man for so long. That's the hard part now, is it's breaking that habit of pick a number.
Which is really the neat thing. It's like Twixt. I don't know if you ever played that game Twixt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what the zone reminds me of. And when you were playing the Giants, and I called them the Giants because some of those girls, I don't know,
they were
honestly,
huge,
they had
twice our
mustaches.
size.
Yeah, I know. They were. I wonder if they were age appropriate. But.
Yeah, well, there was one as tall as you. And it was, anyway, bottom line, they didn't win, but they came close. And they were playing the zone. It was a tough game. You could see how fast they were. I mean, they were like gazelles. But one of the things that slowed them up was the zone. And it was, nothing about our offense is fantastic as well. But, I mean, that really just slows everybody down when those girls are disciplined. It
confuses them, I think, because they're so used to being man-to-man and doing one-on-one isolations and that's how they score their goals. And with a zone defense, what it does is it takes all your players and gives them help.
Right.
So it again plays into what we try to teach, which is the team aspect at all parts of the game. Even our offense is tailored around working as a team rather than one-on-one isolation, and that's why the zone is so effective.
And that's the thing, because one of our biggest philosophies was building a team defense, team offense. If you notice with the zone, you have to play a team defense. I mean, they have to all stay in their spots. It doesn't work if one player's out of position. They all have to stay in position. Right. And if they all stay in position, they all have help everywhere they go. We wanted to teach that and stress that as a team rather than, like Jim was saying, individual, because I'll give you a little story. When my daughter played, she was a great player. One of the best shutdown defenders you're going to find. Very aggressive, very good, very great skills. She went to college, and they were playing a team defense and a team offense. She had always known how to be a great player individually, but had no idea how to fit in, and she had never been taught that. It kind of made me sad knowing that this great player would go to college and have struggle trying to fit into that team atmosphere.
Right.
So we wanted to create an atmosphere where no girl ever feels lost when they go and play in a team atmosphere.
Right. So if you're playing your position and you're playing it well, it's a team effort.
Yep.
And it's a team win. It's a team loss.
Yep.
The whole 9 yards. Very interesting. Now, one of the things I did notice when I was going around and taking some of that footage was I heard this laugh, and there was this other coach. Her name is
Kiki.
Kiki, yeah.
Kiki. Now, Kiki's working with the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Kiki is heading up our Mini-Max program, which is another program that we've taken and brought in for basically first through fourth graders to bring them into the sport. And we've started that program just recently, and we hope that it'll grow over time, and these girls will feed into the MAX LAX program in the years to come.
Right. And well, you could tell she was having a fun time with it. You could tell the girls were having a fun time with it, and she was doing drills just like you. You know, there were some girls doing this. I don't know what that's all about. Is it
Cradling.
Cradling.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all in a line doing the cradling, and you could hear Kiki in the background, way at the other end of the field, laughing, and then the girls doing a back and forth, a drill. I'm not exactly sure what, but she's obviously involved.
Very much so, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she's there at all the tournaments, obviously.
Yep.
And, now, I think one of the refreshing things is, we also mentioned this before off camera, your kids aren't on the team.
Oh, we have no kids on the team.
And we never, one of the problems that we'd found when you have a kid on a team or you set up a program to promote your kid is that there's an agenda there. And there's always some sort of hidden agenda, whether it's to get your kid promoted, get your kid stats, get your kid recruited, get your kid looking good. There's always some sort of agenda, and we wanted to make sure that we never had that. It's strictly about lacrosse, strictly about the team, strictly about coaching.
Right, and you know, other parents can see that, whether it's baseball, basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're sitting there
Any
thinking,
sport.
It really puts a sour, and I think that hurt baseball, because baseball seems to be struggling these days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, you hear the chatter. They own the field, they own this, and that takes away from the fun of the sport.
It does.
And when it becomes all about the coach or all about their son, it's time for something else.
Yeah.
And that was very refreshing when we found out that wasn't part of this.
Well,
team.
the other thing that we've seen too is a lot of these organizations are starting up, and they're all about the money as well.
Right.
And Gary and I don't take anything out of the program. Everything goes back into it. So we basically do it for free.
Yeah, we didn't want to take anything out of the program until the program was self-sustaining, and we do this strictly because, well, first of all, we're nuts, and secondly, because we love the game of lacrosse. We always have. And I think that's part of the reason why Jim and I came together and we formed that bond, was because it's unusual to find somebody who is that dedicated to a game and loves a game that much that they're willing to put themselves out there at that point.
Now, as far as equipment is concerned, one of the things that you automatically hear every time you go there, we got sticks. We got sticks. You got sticks. You got sticks for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So if people are coming in with equipment that, geez, the ball keeps bouncing out of it, hey, well, try this stick.
Yep.
You've got all the equipment that they can find the tool that works for them. Just,
We recommend to the parents, incoming parents, that if the kids are thinking of buying new sticks, we pretty much have all the top sticks, and we line them up on a fence, and the girl can try it and use it for a practice. If she likes it, then that's the one that she can go buy. And we basically came upon all these sticks because of our own daughters.
Right.
They, I got to have it, Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, there goes, out comes the wallet, and a couple hours later at the next practice, didn't like it.
Right.
So, okay, goes in the...
It was the stick, Dad. It was a stick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it goes again. And then some of the sticks my daughter won at tournaments. You go to these tournaments and they have competitions and you can win some of the stuff and stuff. Another really good program we have is as an incentive is we have the string a stick. So it's not about who's the best player at practice, but who hustled that day.
Right.
So in at each practice, the girls vote on it as to who gets their stick, and then we string whoever wins or hustled that day. Doesn't matter if they're the best player, just to the one that gave the most hustle. Then we string their stick in the
Team colors.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. So is there any more events coming up in the near future, or any more tournaments?
Yeah, we have tournaments the end of the month in Epping. We have a tournament
This October.
this October, and
27th,
then
yep.
we'll have another one in the first week of March, which that'll kind of end the season. I mean, we go year round. So we have our fall clinics, which we're in now, and then we'll take a break for the holidays, and then right after the holidays we go into our winter clinic, and we'll do our winter clinics through January and February into the first start of March.
Where is that? Indoor somewhere?
Indoors in Candia at the CYA Indoor Complex, and we go there, and then after that we have a small tournament at the end of the winter clinics, and then we kind of take a break for the NYLA season, which is the New Hampshire Youth Lacrosse
Right.
Association, and we let the kids go play on their town teams, and this is where they can go and really show what they've learned. Since last season, all of a sudden they've gone from here to here,
Right.
because they've had the sticks in the hand and they've had the more advanced skills.
It was Coach Corey, actually, that recommended your program, I think, and that's where Kylie was on. And she thought, well, some kids will show an interest. Some kids will just go to play. They just want to play, and they don't really want to.
Which is fine.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to bring it up a little level and learn some more skills, and maybe have that to be your high school sport or something like that, this is the place to go.
Yep.
And you said money. I mean, some of these other organizations out there, they can cost you a big.
We've written the checks. We know.
Yeah, we know.
Right.
It's several $1,000s to play on a lot of these
And that's
teams.
just the team fees.
And but that's not MAX LAX.
No.
No.
In fact, we have kids in MAX LAX, in fact, that if you can't afford it, this has always been kind of our motto, is you need to come see us, and we'll make it work.
Right.
Yeah.
How about
that's the type of
sponsorships?
program.
How do you guys get sponsors? Do you have sponsors?
We
Do
don't
you
have
welcome
sponsors.
sponsors?
To be honest with you, it's something that we've never really thought of.
Oh, yeah, we did. We just figure we'll make a way, or at the worst case, he and I will split it.
Right.
So,
But you would welcome sponsors if somebody.
Yeah.
If there was
Oh,
a business out
absolutely.
there, a bank or
We
something.
definitely consider it.
yeah,
Right.
we would.
That's and how do people get in touch with you? What's your website?
We have www.maxlaxnh.com, or you can get us 603-289-0789, which is my cell number. Contact me anytime, preferably not 3 a.m., but within reason.
Right. Is there room for more people, or are you almost maxed out, if you will?
Well, what the goal here is we kind of started young because we wanted to develop the players as we went, rather than start with high school age players, because we do plan on going through high school and bringing these girls through the recruiting process if they want to play, post high school lacrosse. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and people don't realize just, there's almost a place for everybody to play. That's how big the sport's growing and how fast it's growing.
I think I was talking to one of the fathers the other day, and he said that his daughter, it wasn't Syracuse, but it was another place in New York, that the daughter got a scholarship, or
Yeah,
knew of a daughter that.
I mean, my daughter just went through the recruiting process, she's down at Savannah College of Art and Design, and she's playing down there in Georgia. And she got emails, 3, 4 a week from startup programs.
Right.
And it was just amazing what's out there. And there's, like I said, there's a place I've been, we went and she practiced with different teams around here. And I wouldn't call her a superstar by any means, but she was a solid defender. And they plenty of schools looking to recruit her.
Where do you tournament? I mean, is it just Massachusetts, or is it, where do your tournaments end up?
It depends on age level. For the younger age level, most parents don't want to be going down to Virginia and Florida in the summer for the tournaments.
Not the summer, no.
And they don't want to be spending 3 days playing lacrosse at a tournament down in Virginia. So for younger age groups, we'll usually stay local tournaments, which are mostly Massachusetts, maybe Vermont, maybe Connecticut.
New Hampshire as
New
well.
Hampshire. And for the older group, once they get into high school, they kind of have to go beyond the bounds of the region to get seen by coaches in different regions.
Right.
So for the high school girls, we will go down to Virginia. We will go down to the
New
Philadelphia,
Jersey.
New Jersey, maybe even Florida. So those ones, they will be multiple day events, and they will be, a lot of travel involved. But
You guys are busy.
yes, you can say that. Our spouses are very, very accepting of the fact that we're going to be very busy in the summer.
Well, better that than on the couch watching a game. Right?
Well, that's kind of the way I put it too. Rather than my brother-in-laws, are off to Foxwoods and stuff. So rather than do that, I'll spend time with kids playing lacrosse.
And what's better than investing in somebody?
Yeah,
I mean,
for us,
No,
it's fun.
it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really rewarding to see the girls go out there and do well.
I'll close with this. One of the last tournaments that Kylie was in, I think she was playing the Giants. And I called them the Giants because they were on steroids or something.
There's something in the water in Massachusetts.
I don't know what it is. Anyway, she kind of got off the field, and she thought, man, I really stink. And she was playing these Giants, and you went over and you pointed out there, this is her first year doing this, and how well she played. And, she won a couple of face-offs with some of those monsters. And I'm calling these girls monsters, so whatever. But they were big.
They were very large.
And it was nice to see how that she went from that self-introspection to a little bit she was encouraged. And it made her feel a little bit more confident.
Confidence is the
Well,
key.
that's the key.
Yeah.
It really is.
So she can go out there and feel like, wow, I know the game. I know the game. I've had the coaching. So thank you very much for coming on the show. How do people get in touch with you again?
www.maxlaxnh.com website, or 603-289-0789. And my name's Gary.
Okay. Coaches, thanks for coming on
Thank
the
you.
show.
Thanks for having us, Kevin.
Well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching Gate City Chronicles. And we want to thank our sponsor, Aardvark Dean of Clean, the carpet cleaner in Nashua. You can reach him at 603-630-1743. And if you would like some more information about Gate City Chronicles or want to be a guest, contact me at gatecitychronicles@gmail.com. Until next week, thanks for watching.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.